Everyone, this is Electra. It's time for a sunset chat about 8 o'clock p.m. Central Daylight Time, and it's a beautiful evening here. It's, well, what did I do today? I got a lot of packing done. I packed up 9-10 boxes worth of my books. Still have a few that I have not packed yet, but the ones that were on my big shelf that I know I won't be reading anytime too soon, I got those packed up, so it's becoming real. I am going to be an Illinois resident soon, by hook or by crook. I don't have a job yet. I do have like one solid possibility that I'm waiting to hear from. I called the manager today and said I wanted to check in, and he said, "Oh, I'll call you right back." And I said, "Okay, fine." And I didn't hear from him, so I'm hoping tomorrow he's going to give me a call. And it sounded good. Like he remembered me first of all, so that's a really good sign. And he sounded happy to hear from me, so I'm feeling pretty good about it. I wish I heard something today, but I understand. I know he's fairly new in his position. He said that during the interview, and said he's only been at this company for 6 months. And so I know how that is. He's very overwhelmed, I'm sure. And that's something I can hopefully help him with. So yeah, it's a company that's right next to the O'Hare Airport. It's airline adjacent. And by that I mean, the airlines are their customer, but I would not be working for an airline itself, which I like. I like the fact that this is it's a company that serves airlines, but they're not going to be. I mean, they're going to be subject to the economy and the ups and downs of the airline industry for sure, because that's the majority of their business. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be something different, a different part of this industry that I've never seen before. But I can see really being good. I can see liking it a lot. And oh, by the way, I'm not using my microphone because I totally neglected to charge it. I haven't had to charge it since I got it, and I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it wasn't working until I was filming this for the last 10 minutes, and then I realized my microphone's not turned on because is that green light there? Oh, that's interesting. I don't know where that is. Oh, okay. Sorry, got distracted by a green light. Just like The Great Gatsby. No. Yeah. So yeah, looking forward to Illinois. I'm gonna do this no matter what. Like I can't stay here. I put in my 30-day notice today on my apartment, so I don't think I'm even gonna be here that long, but it felt good. It felt time. In hindsight, I wish I did it like a week ago, but that was just, it didn't happen. That's when a week ago right now was right before, a week ago tomorrow, I left to go up to Gray's Lake. That's when I went to the game store in Madison, went through Milwaukee, and then went down to Gray's Lake for a substitute teaching interview. That's another thing I did today is I went into the state of Illinois just their state licensing system for teachers, and I went ahead and started my account to eventually get my substitute license once I get a transcript from my college, which I put that in a few days ago, probably last week, as a matter of fact. Yeah, so I should check on that. It seems really simple. As soon as I get the transcript, I send it to them. I pay like $25 and I'll have an Illinois substitute teacher license. So, yeah. So, yeah. Just playing a lot of Obsession, the game that I've been talking about on a lot of my shorts, and I like it a lot. I would go so far as to say that I am obsessed with it, and that's what I was hoping for. Obsessions are my forte. If I'm not obsessed about something, then I don't even want to think about it or do it. So, which is definitely has its pros and cons. My ex-spouse did not like that about me, but it's definitely part of my autism special interest. And if I'm into something, it becomes an obsession, which is, well, we need people like me, and we also need people who don't get obsessed. That's the good thing about this planet. Oh, I just got an email from Noble Night Games. Hello, sorry I missed you today. Okay, well, sounds like something will happen tomorrow there, so that's good. Or I'll hear from the other company in Chicago, which, yeah, I mean, Wisconsin sounds great. And like, I honestly feel like maybe living in Madison would be like slightly nicer as far as like just it's a smaller town, it's less traffic, but although they do have traffic, I've seen it there on my several trips to there and from there. And the Wisconsin governor actually seems like really a true LGBTQ ally and has done a lot of things to help us. So, but it's like, how do I not choose Illinois right now? It's not like I already live in Wisconsin, and it's like I got a life there, and I'm like, I literally have the right. I have the ability right now to write the future of my life, at least for the next few years. And if I have the choice of Wisconsin or Illinois, like, why would I? It really just comes down to that job, I guess, because would I like to work at a game store? I mean, sure. But honestly, I think the job in Chicago actually sounds a little more appealing, a little more interesting, something I would like to do because it's just a big company. It's more corporate-y, but it would be more of an operations position where I'm like working with my hands and not so much behind a computer all day, which did not work for me in my last position at all. I need to be up and about and on my feet, doing things with my hands. That's definitely something I've confirmed about myself. I didn't know that. I kind of like tried not doing that for a while. It definitely didn't go well. So, yeah, so. Well, what else should we talk about? I don't want to end it at only 7 minutes and 40 seconds, but yeah, posted a short today about the book I'm reading, From Cotton Belt to Sun Belt, circa or copyright 1994 by Bruce J. Schulman, and it's a really, really interesting book. So many things that I never really knew because I had never really studied the details of the New Deal before. My obsession in history, for the most part, has been the mid-19th century, the pre-Civil War era in the 1850s, the rise of Abraham Lincoln. I've studied that a lot. Civil War, of course, and that was it for a long time. And I just recently started studying Reconstruction, post-Reconstruction, and the so-called New South between 1870 and 1935, when the New Deal actually started changing things for the better, or at least it did at the time. In my short, I talked about how in so many ways it set up what we are now dealing with, where the South is just basically like the fascism factory of America, because going back to World War II, it was the preferred region for so much like defense expenditures, military expenditures, facilities, airports, that it laid the groundwork for like this very defense-driven economic system in the South that was nowhere near as strong in like the Northeast or the Midwest or most of the West. California got a lot of those military contracts also, admittedly, but definitely a difference. That's not, no way is that the South. It's the South. It's not. I don't even know if I'd call it the Southwest, but yeah, this book does not consider California to be the South or the West or the Southwest. It's kind of the exception only because it has a nicer climate too, but it's definitely not even nowhere near culturally the South. But I would call Arizona the Southwest, just culturally. But yeah. And being from the South, well, I'm not from there originally. I was a transplant, which is a lot of the things which he talks about a lot. He talks about how like Northerners transplanted to the South due to their high skill levels and their managerial abilities to help run these new facilities in the South. And that's why the cities of the South became much more liberal, and it's continued to this day that the cities are just extremely liberal because that's where the skilled, educated people tend to be. That's where their fields are located, and the rural areas just lag behind. But this used to be just a southern phenomenon for the most part up until like the 60s and 70s. That's when I've pinpointed that this system ended up more or less spreading across the nation. And even now, if you're in a rural area, it doesn't matter if you're in Washington State, New York, or Texas. Rural America is like basically just this monolith of the same culture. You may not see a Confederate flag in New York, even though I wouldn't be surprised. You definitely see them in Missouri, and I haven't seen any in Illinois yet, but I mean, I've heard stories that you do see Confederate flags in northern states. It's definitely more of like a rural pride thing at this point, even though it was a union state. If you're in a rural area, it's almost like you're living in the Confederate timeline, as if the South won the war. If you're living in a major city in this country right now, you're living more in a timeline of, well, I don't want to say as if the North won the war, because they did, but I think culturally the South won the peace. I don't see how you can look at our culture over the last 75 years and think that the Northern culture that the Union represented in the Civil War is the one that is in control of this country. It's a figurehead at best, and it did manage to keep control of the media until they got bought off by our current regime and academia. So, which is of course why they're public enemy number 1 and 2 to our commander-in-chief. But yeah, this book really talks about that a lot, and how like it makes a lot of things. There's a reason why guns are so. There's probably more guns in the American South than there is in any other region, like in terms of per capita. It's got to be the highest per capita region in the world of firearms, the American South and Southwest. And why is that? It's because there was a heavy military-driven culture beginning after World War II that permeated the entire culture and the economy, and it's like when you produce something, in a way, that's what you become. And that becomes what you want. So I know, like when I worked in a clothing store, I loved clothes even more, and I bought so many clothing items that I never needed because I was around them all day, every day, and it almost became an obsession. And I can see how people if you're like prone to owning firearms and you live in the South, you work at a firearms factory, or you have gun ranges nearby, it's going to start permeating your consciousness, and you're going to start thinking you need to get a gun because it just seems like it's the thing to do around there, right? And I mean, of course, and there's like different versions of this everywhere. Everywhere I've lived, like I felt like I was getting both conscious and subconscious messages of how I should live my life based on the cultural bubble around me. And people that don't have the ability to say, that's not me, that's against my values and my morals, like it's easy to just do whatever you think is expected of you. So, yeah, I'm only halfway through the book, so I'm really interested to read the rest. I actually left my first copy at the Hyatt Regency, Chicago O'Hare, that I just stayed at last Friday night. And I left it there because I left in a little bit of a rush. I had a voice lesson that I had to be on, and the hotel didn't want me to stay past 2 or else they would charge me $30. But so I left in a rush, and I left my book, the first book. I replaced it, got another copy, so it's not the end of the world. But I did also leave a small makeup bag that had my powder, so I need to replace that. But yeah. I might go back and stay there. If I go back to Chicago soon, which I probably will, then I might just stay there again. That's how much I liked it. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope to hear from you in the comments. And again, sorry about the no microphone, but I'm going to charge it up right now. Have it ready for tomorrow. And I will speak to all of you very soon. And please like, share, and subscribe if you like this kind of material. Please, well, I took down my buy a cup of coffee for now because I'm going to change the wording on it. I had it under Wide Awakes, which was something I was doing, but based on how events have gone, I don't know if the Wide Awakes are what we need right now. So I'm going to start a different approach. And I'm going to start a different... I'm basically unifying my brand across all social media. So on Blue Sky, I'm Electra Unmasked. Here, I'm Electra Unmasked. I'm already Electra Unmasked on my Substack that I've had for a couple years now, and just it's kind of lagged behind. I don't really do that much anymore. I like just doing videos, but I still do have it, and I'm going to start a Patreon. And I'm going to do a buy me a cup of coffee thing. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you again for watching. And I hope you like the sunset behind me there. And I will see you all next time. Bye.